Hello again, everybody. The History Guy here. Well, it's time for another first look and kind of early review of a game. And this is going to be Aggressors, Ancient Rome. And I'm just going to read to you the description that the studio who produced this game has put out. It's kind of just the simple short description of the game to give you a little bit of an insight into what it is we're going to be looking at today. It says Aggressors Ancient Rome is a turn-based 4X strategy game that brings you back to the ancient world. A mix of deep gameplay and rich historical flavor, Aggressors lets you relive history as the ruler of one of the mighty civilizations of the Mediterranean world. Will you bring glory to Rome and conquer the Mare Nostrum? Will you build an immortal trading empire with Carthage? Will you bring the light of Athens to the world? Or maybe will you restore the rule of the Pharaoh? Choose one of 20 available factions and conquer the world. Manage all aspects of your mighty empire with complete freedom. You can decide to start with an advanced nation surrounded by newer civilizations, or you can choose to start as a young tribe, ready to take on an older and decadent empire. Or you can decide to completely randomize the map and play in a uniquely generated world. The choice is yours. Dive into Aggressor at your own pace. Thanks to the tutorial and tool tips, you can gradually explore all the options available to you. And that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to play the tutorial as Rome, just to let you see a little bit of the game and we can kind of learn it together. This is my first look at the game. I will tell you up front that I do know that just from exploring a little bit on Steam, there are a ton of customizations and mods available for this game. There's a map creator that comes with the game that allows you to kind of create your own scenarios, your own maps. So I've seen things like feudal Japan available as something you can play. So it's not limited to just Rome. The options are endless, and obviously I can't cover all of that today, but we're going to go ahead and dive in. All right, so we're going to go ahead and dive in to the ancient Mediterranean game world. And we're going to choose the Roman Republic, and we're going to go ahead and run the tutorials for this. So I think we're just going to run the simple tutorial for now. And so you can kind of see the overview a little bit here. It tells you the game difficulty, the game speed, which can be changed from anything from realistic to slow pace, moderate, dynamic, or brisk. Option-wise, you have army morale, loyalty, general morale, supply management, Invention Tree mixed, Invention Tree hidden. So that isn't allowed with that. Random events, objectives, migration, and raids. So all of those things, you can kind of see the overview of your territory and what you have going for you in all these different things going on. So let's go ahead, scenario info. Just gives you a little bit of a scenario info. Number of players, 23 units per tile. Map size, I'm sure that'll all make more sense as we get into it. Following a series of local battles and smaller wars, the city-state of Rome brought the region of central Italy called Latium under its control. And I'm not going to read all of that. We're just going to dive right into this thing. So, first things first, there is a little bit of a slow load on this one. It does take some time both to boot up to the main menu and also to boot up to this, as you can see right here. All right, so we're nearly there. And I should say, as I talk about the loading, that's not unusual. That's pretty much every game like this, so nothing different there. Following a series of local battles, yeah, that's what we started reading earlier. So a patchwork of Italian and Sicilian cultures and nations resulted in continuing conflicts and territorial changes with growing Roman influence over Italy. Rome, however, never meddled in the international affairs of the Mediterranean, nor did it exercise its military strength against any of its dominant Greek cultures until now. In 282 BC, responding to a call for military assistance in a dispute of another city, Rome sent its fleet south and thus violated the fragile equilibrium of power. The peace is shattered, and the war for dominance between Rome and the other powers will decide the future of the Mediterranean. So, the Roman Republic is ready for a great expansion. It dominated the whole of Italy, and now it looks at new opportunities to further enlarge its territory and bolster its power. Rome has expanded significantly in recent years, but the limited resources of its own lands do not cover the needs of such a large population and growing army. Luckily, it is in great position for the development of trade and has a formidable army to protect its interests. Its aggressive foreign policy has already brought Rome in contact with other strong nations. Rome plans to use its well-trained army and strong navy to establish itself as a dominant power on both land and sea. The southern border is threatened by Epirus. The nomadic Celtic people are raiding the countryside to the north. Powerful and ambitious, Rome will have to face strong opponents if it wants to become the ruler of the Mediterranean. Okay, so the future of the nation, we're going to follow in their steps. Welcome to the tutorial. This short tutorial will walk you through the main features and controls of the game. It'll take you about 30 to 40 minutes to complete, but you can save and come back at later time if you need a break. First of all, I love the fact that they tell you exactly what to expect up front. The introduction was well done. It wasn't like misworded like sometimes you see when, you know, if it's a developer from another country, things like that. So I like that. I like what I've seen so far. I like how they set the expectations up front for this. The tutorial panel will be displayed on the left side of the screen throughout the whole tutorial. I like that too. It's nice and easy and simple. This button right there will help you to recall the current assignment and get advice on how to complete the task. This button will help you find the unit that should perform the current action. I love this. This is a great tutorial already, and I haven't even done anything yet. This button will close the tutorial and all hints about how to play. All right. So here we go. Great. Now you know where to find help. Use it whenever you're not sure how to continue. The next task is also easy. Question mark. Select one of your map items on the map by simply checking on it. Wow. All right, cool. So we've selected these guys here. Now you know how to select a map item. This is a settler. Once you selected the unit, the map item is highlighted and detailed information is displayed on the lower right-hand corner right there. So now we can click on that right there to switch to the next unit. So that's cool, or spacebar does that. So we can kind of switch between all of our available units using the spacebar. So we have default actions that make the selection of commands and moves faster. All right, so I guess what we're going to do here is we've got this particular... Oh, didn't mean to do that. So we've got one of our settlers here. Where can we move them? Apparently we can't move them anywhere. Tutorial is currently active, and this is not the current assignment. My bad. All right, so what we're trying to do here is try to move some of our units. Most of the times, move unit is selected by default. So I guess we want to go down to this guy here and move him there. Okay, perfect. Nice. And so we're moving this guy here. And now what? Oh, we want to move him all the way down to here, I guess. So we're going to move him to Neapolis. Perfect. All right, now we've got some naval action going on here. That's pretty cool. Great, your orders were obeyed to the letter. The first turn is almost over, but let's spend a bit more time on the game menu in the upper right corner. There we have it. This button opens the main menu, and this one question displays the game help called Aggressor's Library. Now it's time for other players to make their moves, so we're going to click on the end turn. So here's the Aggressor's Library right here. So that gives you kind of all the answers to all the questions that you might have. So now we wait for other players to take their turn. I haven't looked to see if there's a multiplayer mode for this game yet. I guess that's a question that we'll need to answer. Looks like I've unlocked an achievement of some kind while all of this is happening. There are 20 different factions, so it may take a little time. But I got to say this up front. It runs super smooth. Haven't seen any glitching at all so far. I haven't really gone in and played with the graphics settings or anything. And now remember, I'm running a decent computer system, but not a high-end one by any means. I think I have a GTX 1050 graphics card, about 8 gigs of RAM on my system, decent processor, so it's running just fine on all that, and I probably could turn down the graphics if I needed to. So fantastic, you completed your first turn, and you're ready for the next challenge. You might have noticed that the date in the upper right corner has changed, and that the latest reports from the world are displayed at the left edge of the screen up here. If you wish to see exactly where a certain event took place, click on the particular report line and the map will shift. Okay, very cool. So yeah, it looks like it's about a year per turn. Now we're going to try to build a city. Cities can be built by all mobile units, but the time and costs vary depending on the unit types. Settlers and nomads are city builders and so are more efficient in using the resources, whereas army units are better used for military purposes. City foundations can be laid only on suitable terrain: grasslands, plains, forests, jungles, hills, and scrublands. A new city can only stand on a tile that does not sit adjacent to another city, makes sense, or is not taken by another city building or resource. So let's do it. All right.
Yes.
We're going to order this guy to build a city here. And actually, we only have to left click. Once he's there, we can left click again. You can see the default turn idea there. So I guess if we press M, that'll happen. Nice. We get to name it. His story guy. I don't know. We're just going with that. Great work. You laid the foundation for your first city. There's a lot of important information you should know about cities. When you select a city, several tiles around it get highlighted. This is the city range in which your citizens can work, grow food, and cut wood. The bigger the city range. You can build different types of buildings and improvements in the cities to enable higher production rates, to strengthen defenses, or to multiply yields. But keep in mind that cities are left to grow and develop at their own pace, have higher production rates. So don't meddle is what they're saying. Let the city do its thing. Let's give one of your cities a trading improvement. All right, so we're going to look at Asculum, and we're going to click on that. And right down here on the bottom right, Control V is to build an improvement. And actually, it just gives you the options. Real easy there. Civil service. City's protected from revolts and uprisings. Tells you what it costs. Defense. Strength is increased. Trading. City makes more money than it consumes by increasing its production. And that was what we were told to do, so that's what we're going to do. Citizens start building a trading center, which will have a significant impact on the overall income of the city. Roads play an important role in a country's development. Connecting cities, other buildings, and resources with roads improve the mobility of your units. Makes sense. We're going to build a road, and I guess we're going to build it right here. And we're going to press R to build a dirt road. Nice. So it's nice that they're kind of able to do all those functions. You don't have a specific unit doing a specific function. They can do all of those things. So most new units are recruited and trained in cities and some other buildings like stables or shipyards. Let's recruit a new settler unit in the city of Rome by clicking on this button. All right. So B builds us a settler. It's the only thing we can build right now. And you can see, I notice up at the top, it shows you what your available resources are. If you look up here, when I highlight on that, it shows, okay, I'm going to lose 10 of my 31.9 gold. I'm going to lose 10 of my 162 available people. So there we go. So far, so good. Let's move on and explain a little of what you can see, on the map and how to navigate it. You can move around the map by using the arrow keys, by moving the cursor on the edge of the map, or by using the mouse wheel, all the standard ways you move. You can drag the map by holding the wheel down. There are 4 different map items: mobile units, buildings, cities, and resources. When there are more map items of a different class on one tile, only one of them is visible on the map. You will see one or more shields next to it representing the other map items. So take some time to look at the map. So let's go ahead and scroll out here. And you can see that as you scroll out, it goes more of an overhead view as opposed to kind of that 3D angled view that you get as you zoom in. But that's pretty cool. I like the map. I like, you can kind of see some areas. You can still see, even though you can't necessarily see through the fog of war, you can still see where land is. You just don't see what's going on there. So here's Massilla. This looks like one of our potential enemies down the road. So we've done all of that, and I think we're ready to move on to the next thing. All right, so we've taken our turn, and we've moved on to 276 BC. And we're just waiting for everybody else to go here, and then we're going to find out what's next. I like the map. It's a cool-looking map. It's easy to navigate. Third turn is about to start, but before we dive into it, let's talk a bit more about the map menu in the lower left corner of the screen. So you've got the mini-map selection things here. So it's really easy, it looks like, to just kind of click around where you're at on the map. Zoom in and out on the map that way, but not really a need for that. It looks like we've got other kind of filters that we can use as well. So order a settler to build a field by clicking on this button. All right, cool. So we're down here. Build a field. Awesome, your lands are being cultivated and you can focus on other tasks. You already know how to build a road on a particular tile, but you can also order a settler to build a longer route instead of going through the tiles one by one. Let's give it a try. Click on this button, then select the tile where the road should lead to. All right, so we're going to build a road from there to History Gaium. It's going to take a little time to do that. Construction plans are laid down, and we'll get let the settler do his work. The last menu we should talk about is the state menu in the upper left corner of the screen. Here you'll find the state window. That's the SPQR. With the main tools for the state administration, the overview of available resources, and the progress bar showing technological development, not visible if the research is not ongoing. You can build a variety of other buildings that improve the country infrastructure and make your armies and defenses stronger. New types of buildings become available depending on the scientific and technological advancements. You can find the list of available buildings by clicking on this building in the state button on the state menu. We're going to go ahead and build a blacksmith. And I guess we're going to do that right here. So right here, build facility. So we've got blacksmith, shipyard, and temple. Blacksmith it is, right there. Great work, the blacksmith is almost finished, and so is this turn. But before you end the turn, you should pay more attention to the political developments. The Epirian king is positioning his units dangerously close to your southern border. All right, let's go take a look at that. Hey, so what's happening here, guys? So what we're going to do is we're going to move our legion. I guess we're just going to move. Oh, I see. This is his kingdom right there, and there's his units. All right, I was looking down past this area. I was looking at Sicily. All right. That's it. Run away. I would imagine as the game goes along and as you discover more, the turns will take longer because you'll be seeing a lot more things happening. All right, there's some good news and some bad news. A new settler has finally been recruited, but the political situation in the south has deteriorated. Of course it has. Epirus has attacked, and his units are moving closer to your newly built city. Stay away from History Gaium. You need to act fast. First of all, the legion in the north should be moved closer to the enemy. You can order your units to move further than where they can go in the current turn. Yeah, so that's kind of normal, like with how these things work. All right, so you can. It's not going to let me click on those things up on the map. Settlers should build a road so that the legion from the north can be transferred faster. The legion in the south should position itself to be able to counterattack as soon as conditions allow. All right, so first things first, we need to build a road to there. All right, and then we are moving the legion. And where are we moving said legion? We're moving them down to here. All right, perfect. It's going to take 2 turns for him to get there. And we're going to move this legion up. So we're going to get near him there. Although your legions are almost at their positions, you should get ready for the conflict by creating new recruitment centers in your cities. All cities and some buildings can be specialized in recruiting certain unit types. The specialization is shown under the city name of the unit menu. City can have multiple specializations, whereas buildings only one. Specialization can be changed, added with this action button. When a city or building is specialized, you can start recruiting new units there by clicking on this button. So I love that it shows you all the little pictures of all the buttons. So we're going to add specialization in Rome and then recruit a new Princeps Legion in Neapolis. All right, cool. New specialization. we're going to build them here. All right. The enemy's still too far to counterattack, but you can strike back by taking his territory and mines. All right, cool. We're going to take this. So the general gives you advice about the attack that you're about to make on what's going to happen. General's advice: absolute supremacy, prediction accuracy, reliable assessment. So he figures that's what's going to happen, and he's fairly certain he's right. All right. So even though there's no army there, we still have to attack to be able to kind of take over. All right, so this is cool. Roman Republic, this is Cassius's legion. 7,000 soldiers goes up against a stone quarry with a population of 2,000. And it looks like victory. Our soldiers fought like lions. We lost 523 casualties, gained some experience. We killed or expelled 1,223 people. So that's pretty cool. I like the detail. I like all that it provides there. So it's not just a, hey, you won, here's how many men you lost. You know, there's a lot more to it than that. So that's pretty cool. I'm really digging that. Fantastic. You took the Epirian mines. Make use of your naval units as well and move them toward the coast of Epirus to get more information about the movements of his armies. Makes sense. All right. All right, so that's Longinus' fleet. Switch to the next unit, so I guess we're going to move this fleet as well. Is that the deal here? No, perhaps not. I thought I did move him, but oh, okay, we're moving down here. Gotcha. Now we're moving this guy over here so we can kind of see what's happening. Makes sense. During wartime and peaceful times, resources are of profound importance for the existence of the empire. All resource mines can increase their size and their yearly production when they are connected to cities and blacksmiths. Makes sense. The production of the mines is increased when it is located within a 3-tile range from a city and or blacksmith. It can be a simple connection over land by dirt or paved road. Each of these connections has an impact on the resource production. Pretty cool. I like that. Each mine can be connected only to one city and one blacksmith. Let's build a route from Roma City that will connect to the resource mines in its vicinity. All right. So we're going to build a route up to there. Get working on that. The new road will be finished soon, and you cannot do much more for now. Let's spend a bit more time on the state window, one of the most important game windows. You can access it by clicking on that. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of our administrative tools. All right, very cool. Here's our full population, 1.37 million. We've got 87,000 square kilometers. We have met 42% of the victory conditions right now, and this is really cool. You highlight over it, and it shows you exactly where all of the different factions are in terms of completing victory conditions and what victory condition that is. How many objectives have been met. You can change your birth rate policy. So that's pretty cool if you want to grow your population. How many soldiers you have, how many people are working the economy. You can open your political map and see all of your foreign relations. I got to be honest, guys. I've played a lot of these 4X games. And now, granted, I'm still getting into this, but I really like the interface. I like the way that information is presented. I like how easy it is to kind of know what's going on. And if you're ever in doubt, it's easy to figure it out. I like how you don't have to go digging real hard to find the information you're after. Everything seems to be really accessible just by highlighting over it. And you can see here, like strategic menu shows you exactly where all the cities are on the map. I can see that. I can see where the coal mines are. I can see where galleys are, where the gold mines are. Everything's really super easy to kind of manage. I like that a lot. So obviously there's a lot more to this. There's player statistics. I'm only seeing mine, obviously. It looks like we can see a little bit of somebody else's here. But I would guess it's probably a matter of just kind of getting to know other people maybe. I don't know. What else can we look at here? Here's my objectives window. And it shows you I'm 90% toward this one and all of these other objectives that are there. So really, really cool. I like that a lot. I'm only touching, kind of scratching the surface here. Here's resource usage. But gotta say, I really, really like the interface. I like the map. I like everything about it so far. If this is your style of game, I mean, we'll get into it a little more and we'll see. But we're going to end turn and go ahead and press on. All right, looks like we see some other factions are doing some fighting as well. We're getting into 274 now. There's the Celtic tribes way up in the north. And my guy's getting his construction complete now. The situation is becoming serious. New Epirian reinforcements reached the south of Italy, and one of your legions have been completely destroyed. No! You have to strike back with even greater force. All right. Let's do that. All right, where's this guy supposed to go? All right, down there. You're in a difficult position, but you still have to maintain the country. The mine you seized last turn is damaged. Damaged cities, buildings, or resources can be repaired in a few turns by clicking on this button. All right. Although you are preoccupied with the political developments, you still should not neglect the research of new technologies. The more you invent, the more options it opens for you. Even when working on one technology, you can always switch to another that could be more important at the moment. A small resource penalty will have to be paid to reinitiate the suspended research. The Invention Tree can be opened from the state window. There we go. All right, so here are our available inventions. And we can see how many turns it'll take for the current one that we're dealing with. And it looks like not everything is currently available to us. So we can kind of scroll. So available are red, pinkish red there. Developing is in yellow. Developed are these other ones. And unavailable in gray. So drill arena it is. Ancient professional armies are known through their rigorous discipline enforced through a harsh system of decorations and harsh punishments. Discipline was essential for creating a cohesive military unit and for building character, reliability, courage, and motivation in soldiers. So this is going to require these things. Oh, so I guess I didn't quite want to do that. So let's go back to that again. Oh, so here's how we do it. We select this technology. The new research has started, and you can see the development in the progress bar in the state menu. The turn is almost over, but one last thing remains. Your units are closing in on the enemy, but you are unable to stop the pillaging soldiers. However, one of your settlers is very close to the front line and should be moved to the rear where it can be more useful. Next turn will surely bring better news. All right. Run away from History Gaium. Are we saying we're going to lose that town? I mean, is that what we're dealing with here? I guess we're going to find out in a second. So it goes through all the ones I can't see first, and then I think it gets to the ones that I can see. Yeah, they're going for my town. Not okay. They did take it. History Gaium has fallen.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Yeah. Nice. We got a real battle going on here now. All right, we're on to 273 BCE. As I mentioned, the further you get, the longer the turns are going to go. That's true with any game like this. And I'm sure there's some settings we can change to where we don't have to see all that stuff or that it can happen faster. History Gaium was destroyed by Aquilinus's army. Not okay. That was my town. So all the people either left the city or were killed in riots. The plundering units of Aquilinus's army entered a city of ghosts. The enemy sees and completely destroyed your newly built city. The situation is critical, but news came from Sicily that Epirus also engaged in a war with Carthage there, which could play to your benefit. Your legions are a stone's throw away from the front line. It's time to show your strength. Yes, sir. You can see everything I lost when that town was captured. It's right up here on the top left. I have state decisions that are available. Lands of the Roman Republic have been captured. All right, what are we doing here? All right, let's do this. Bring it on, dude. Bring it on. All right, so we bloodied him, and victory was achieved. We had 10,000 soldiers, a 50% terrain convenience, a +6 to army morale. Had a nice victory over an enemy that was about half my size. Looks like we lost a lot of men, though. More casualties than he did. We had a good chance, but the gods did not stand by us this time. So we did win a victory, but we also lost a lot in the process. So we can look at the details of his army, the experience, the general's morale, the loyalty, the number of men, where they are, what bonuses they have, and what history they have, where they won victories and where they lost. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Gives a little bit of kind of personality to your units to see those things. All right, so it looks like we're going to go at them with these guys now. General's advice, absolute supremacy. Prediction, free from doubt. All right. All right, we finished him. So there you have it. 2,000 casualties that time, but we wiped him out completely. The enemy was strong, but the gods were on our side this time. And he's gone. One Epirean unit has been destroyed, but don't rest on your laurels. Interesting, because that does come from here. There's still much to be done. The enemy ships that brought reinforcements to the south must still be near the southern coast. Order your vessels to find them and sink them. Time for a little naval combat. All right. There he is. Yeah, take it and like it. Looks like we got damaged a little bit, but not too bad. 6,000 soldiers defeated 5,000. Wiped him out. Lost 2/3 of my own navy in the process. That was a bloody battle. The mission was successful. The enemy ships at the bottom of the sea. You managed to turn the tide, and the gods will surely hold their protective hand over the Roman Republic. It's time to end your turn. Once you do, an opponent's action panel appears at the top of the screen. You can end the presentation by clicking on this option to jump to the start of your turn. Okay, so that's exactly what I was just talking about. You don't necessarily... Oh, and you can control the music, which I have turned off, as I always do with my games, just so you can hear what's going on, what I'm talking about, rather than being distracted by the music. But it does have a soundtrack, and you can switch kind of between those things. So here you have it. You can skip the actions of any opponent. You can just hit spacebar, or you can just kind of skip through all of it and go right to your next turn. The bad times are still not over. Your legion north of the Epirian forces has sustained heavy losses during recent fighting and is necessary to supply it with new soldiers and arms. Damaged infantry units can be healed or repaired in the cities, mounted units in stables, and naval vessels in shipyards that are specialized in recruitment construction of that type. Once the damaged unit reaches where it can be fixed, we'll click on the button. All right, so I guess we're dealing with our legion here. We're going to send him to Neapolis, and we're going to heal for 2 turns. Your second legion is standing ready. Let's follow the enemy and deal him the final blow. An eye for an eye. All right, so it looks like equal chances. So this is a 50-50 battle here. Oh yeah, but we won. So actually, that was not very equal. We wiped out 6,000 men and only lost 2,000 in the process. So nicely done. Glorious victory. The gods are favorable to you. The city the Epirians destroyed cannot be saved anymore, but if you build a new one on its foundations, the construction will be much cheaper. Okay, that's cool. I like that. So you've already got the basis of a city. Go back and build it. You should also go back, take back the southern tip of the peninsula. There's a gold mine there that we want. All right, cool. So let's go rebuild. History guy we're going to keep that name, absolutely. And now we're going to go marching on his territory and get that gold mine. Nice. So we took that one out, expelled or killed all of the enemy, and it's time to end our turn. And I think we'll do the same thing we did last time. We'll just go ahead and skip. Normally when I'm playing this, I'd probably want to see those things just so I'm aware of what's happening. But since we're only doing a tutorial, that's not necessary. Time for the final strike. The Epirian city of Barium is an excellent target. The city is not guarded, and you will not get a better opportunity, but be aware that even an unguarded city can put up a strong resistance. All right. Here we go. Definite advantage.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? I am ready. Let's do this. And we've taken Barium. A population of 155,000. Taken by my 6,200 soldiers. We lost about 1,600 men. 21,000, almost 22,000 expelled or killed. There we go. As with the seized mine, the city is damaged and needs to be repaired. So we're going to do that. We're going to repair the city. It's going to take some time. All right. Barium is repaired and almost all southern Italy is in your hands. There are many tools that you can use to forge new foreign relations and change existing ones. To open the political map, you can click on this button in the map menu in the lower left corner, or you can go through the state window. All right. So we'll click on the foreign relations button. That's F3 there. So I guess I didn't check to see exactly what it is it wants me to do. Let's look at Carthage. All right, cool. Hey, how's it going? This is the end of the tutorial. All right, guys, so you've gotten a first look at the game, and I've talked through what I like about it at the beginning and throughout. I really like this game. I think that it looks really good. I believe it's $29.99 on Steam. It is a full release game. This one's not in early release or anything. And like I said, tons of customizations available. There are a lot of available mods and things like that. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at those real quick. All right, so we're into Aggressors Ancient Rome, into the workshop now. So we'll just kind of look at the most subscribed scenarios that are available here. So we've got things like the Ancient Rome Centurion mod. So let's look at this. Romans attack the British Islands. So what you have here is the expanding Roman Empire has established a control over the large territories of northeastern Europe. They've attempted the same in Britain several times, but so far the island is still ruled by the autonomous Britons. So Emperor Claudius, so you're preparing an invasion there. So you can kind of look and see. Somebody has made the map. You've got all of Britain there available. So that's just one of many of the available things in the workshop for this game. So we'll go back and look at just a few more real quick here. So right there is Sengoku Japan 1560. You've got the Ancient Orient there. So let's look at this Japanese one for just a second. That's one I was telling you about earlier. So there you've got, you can play all of the different tribes of the time of the samurai. So that's pretty cool, and that's what I love about this game. It's not even just limited to the Mediterranean region. Everything is fully customizable. You've got all of these available mods that you can easily subscribe to and install on the game. So a lot to check out, and I barely scratched the surface of any of it. I highly recommend this game, and if you're interested in seeing more from Aggressors Ancient Rome, let me know. Please hit that thumbs up. Let me know in the description, the comments below, that you'd like to see me play a series on this game. And if you got a particular idea of who you'd like me to play, use that as well. We're going to try to continue to do maybe once a week or so, do one of these first look review type situations with the game. I've already got the next one ready for you, and it's going to be Arms Race. So that's going to be next week. It's set in the Cold War era with the United States and the Soviet Union. So be watching for that next week. As always, thank you guys for checking this out, for being a part of this channel. Thanks for checking out Aggressors Ancient Rome. And by the way, it's actually on sale. It is $19.79 right now, as you can see. So now's your chance to get it if you're interested. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.